Hey guys, I'm Angela Braniff. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a really fun video for you guys. So I was watching the channel The Icing Artist, and she is crazy talented. I'm gonna link her channel down below. But she did a really fun video where she challenged herself as like an expert, okay, she's an expert, I am not, to go to the grocery store, buy a grocery store cake and turn it into a beautiful wedding cake. And I got an idea. Because my children, I usually just buy grocery store cakes or go buy the box cake and make it myself, which no shame, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I have done that for years. Sometimes we do Costco cakes. I mean, just whatever, you know, it's cake. Kids love cake. But in the past, from time to time, I have really enjoyed making like really fun cakes. For one of my daughter's birthdays, I made this Toy Story cake that I used fondant on it and like the whole thing, right? I went all out. And one of the things for me is that making cakes like that is time consuming in the prep, the baking of the cake, and then the decorating of the cake. So I thought this could be kind of cool because it could cut some of that time out. The baking time, all the mess that it makes to bake cakes, this could be hopefully quicker. Now, is this cheaper? Absolutely not. I did a cake for my daughter's 12th birthday. She wanted a Piggy Hamilton cake, okay? She has a pet pig named Eliza Hamilton, and she wanted a pig/Hamilton cake. So this is the cake that I made her using this method. Bought some cakes from the grocery store and turned it into this. So when I posted that online, I had a lot of people saying, well, that's great, you did a great job, but isn't it just cheaper to buy box cake mix and you could just do that yourself? Yes, that is definitely cheaper. So in no way am I claiming that this is a cheap way to make a birthday cake, okay? I'm just telling you that this is something fun that I wanted to try and that I found when I did that for her cake that it turned out really well, and I appreciated not having all the baking dishes and stuff like that and having to spend the time prepping and baking the cakes as well. I just got to do the part that I enjoy really, which is the decorating. My son's 7th birthday was coming up. He wanted a Ghostbusters cake. So I'm gonna share with you guys today how I took these cakes from the grocery store, just plain basic grocery store cakes, and turned them into a really fun, cool Ghostbusters cake for my son for his birthday. Again, I'm not claiming this is the cheapest, most effective, efficient, any of that kind of stuff. It was just a fun little challenge for me to try. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's go make a cake. Let's go bake a cake, except we're not baking a cake, we're just decorating a cake. So whatever, let's just, come on, let's go. All right, so this is everything I picked up to decorate his cake with. I got some things from Amazon. I'll link stuff down below in case you've got a kid that's really into Ghostbusters too. I got the number 7 with his name on it from Etsy. And then I just grabbed 2 cakes at Walmart. The white one has like a rainbow center and the chocolate frosted one is chocolate on the inside. So I thought it would make kind of a cool layered cake on the inside for him. And then I'm just gonna start by taking all the icing off. It kind of just slides off, which is gross and nice all at the same time. Makes it slightly easier to manage if you can just kind of pull the icing off. And it's interesting to see how they sort of prop up a badly shaped cake by icing it. It really, you can kind of see the bones underneath. Not that great. So if you're somebody who bakes your own cakes, don't feel so bad if they're floppy, loppy, and sloppy, because that's how apparently the bakeries do it too. They just cover all their sins with icing.
Without a sound and a moment, you will cry for help, and we only think about ourselves, oh yeah.
All right, and then I just took one of these cardboard circles. I've had these forever, and transferred it onto there, flipped it upside down and transferred it. And then I just took some of the icing from the cake already and used that to make it sort of sticky surface I could put the other layer on. And I put them on upside down just so I had a slightly flatter, cleaner surface to work with. And then I took an icing bag, and this is just vanilla white store-bought Pillsbury icing. put that into the baggie, and I'm going to use that. The footage goes blurry here, so I apologize for that, but I'm kind of just trying to fill in. Like I said, these cakes are kind of lopsided. There's a little bit of holes in them, so I kind of used that to build back up the main shape. And then I'm going to do a really sort of rough icing on this. Obviously I'm working with all store-bought ingredients, so nothing is like perfectly smooth or great. So this is going to be kind of what I call like the rough edit, if you will. I'm going to give it shape. I'm going to, kind of smooth everything out, and you can see little chocolate chunks coming through and everything, but this is going to work for now, and I'm going to stick that in the fridge to kind of, I don't know, solidify, I guess. And then while that is in the refrigerator, I'm going to pull out the fondant, and this is what I'm going to use to make like the little city buildings on the outside of the Ghostbusters cake. So I just got some food dye. Again, I got a variety pack on Amazon, and I used the black, and you can use powdered sugar to sort of flour the board. And I used black, and let me just tell you, it took a lot. It took a lot and a lot and a lot of black food dye, and I still couldn't get it perfect. So I'll show you what I do in a little bit. But I also did yellow, which will be sort of the windows of the buildings, if you will. So I did a little chunk of yellow fondant as well. All right, now I'm going to pull the cake back out now that it's had probably an hour in the fridge, and I'm going to take the second jar of icing, same type, and I kind of whipped that up and made it a lot smoother and easier to work with, a little more pliable, and this is where I'm going to go around and kind of do my second coat of icing. This is, again, it's not buttercream icing, it's not anything special, and I don't expect it to be perfect, so I'm just working with what I got to try to make the shape as smooth as it can be and the outside lines and layers as smooth as they can be. And I use a little bit of water as well. That kind of helps to smooth things out. Again, it's not perfect, and I don't care.
All my life, and I knew, told me.
All right, so then I went ahead and rolled out my fondant. As you can see, the gray, I mean, this is with a ton of food dye, and that was as dark as I could get it. So there might be some trick out there that I just don't know, but I'll show you what I ended up doing. So I went through and kind of cut out the shapes that I wanted for the buildings that will go around the bottom side of the cake, the bottom layer of the cake, if you will. And then I just kind of was like trying to get creative and figure out ways I could make the little windows, the little yellow windows. So I just did some lines, a little checkerboard, and chopped those up into little teeny pieces.
All my life, I knew her, knew her, knew her, knew her.
And applying these to the cake, it stuck just fine, just sticking the fondant directly to the icing. So I didn't use anything else to make it stick. That was enough.
You never leave me dry.
So what I ended up doing, and probably just could have done from the beginning, is to just take the black food coloring and a little paintbrush that was in my icing kit and use that to kind of just paint over the outside of the fondant and paint those buildings black. Again, I probably just could have done this directly on white fondant and it would have worked out fine, but you live and you learn, I just couldn't quite get it black enough. So then, because I had that little layer of black food coloring on there, I was able to just stick the little yellow pieces of fondant directly onto the cake, and that held them on. So I didn't, again, have to use any additional products to try to make those stick.
Like a night sky in July, 'cause you never leave me dry.
And now comes the fun part. I get to add all the decorations. So I got the little sign that says Jonah from Etsy. I realize after the fact that it kind of looks like a 70 instead of a 7, but that's okay. And then this really fun like icing drip. It kind of looks like Slimer's slime, which was sort of my intention there. So I thought that was really fun. And then I just stuck my little figurines in there and gave them a little bit of balance and grip with some extra icing. And that was kind of it. I feel like it turned out just really fun. Jonah absolutely loved it. And I'm proud of it. I think it's a fun cake, and I really have found that I enjoy cake decorating. Who knew?
leave me dry. You, baby.
Ta-da! So there you have it. My son's Ghostbusters cake. Now, of course, there's things I would potentially change or do differently. Nothing is ever perfect, but it was a fun project, something I really enjoyed, and it let me get a little creative with the decorating and not have to worry so much about the baking and the mess. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you've not already, and I will see y'all again very soon. Bye.
'Cause you never leave me dry.